Alright, Dylan again, back with Gold Paydirt Reviews, and as promised, part 2 for the day of Dirt Hog Paydirt. And this is the 2-pound bag, and I'm really excited for this one, even more so than the first one. Simply because I know the results from the last one. I'm not going to tell you, you still have to visit my website. But it was over a gram. I recovered over a gram from the 1-pound bag. That really fine flour gold really bumped up the total. So I was really happy with that. And again, you know, Dirt Hog was one of my originals. It's one of the ones that first got me into panning. Then I went to eBay a lot and just got burned a ton, which is why I started this website and now these YouTube videos. It's because I got tired of getting burned. And I really felt bad about not re-reviewing the Dirt Hogs because they didn't have a video review. And for the longest time, they were my top Paydirts. And I really should have, before now, went back and did a video review. But, you know, like I've said before, it's hard to justify bringing in somebody I've already reviewed for somebody new. Because I'd rather, you know, to me, would rather bring in somebody new than stick with the same old every time. You know, it just helps my viewers find, you know, better Paydirt and fun Paydirt, you know, because it's, you know, anyone can stick to the exact same seller and just buy, but you're never going to really get anything different. You know, it's fun sometimes to go out to different sellers, which is why I like this one. Now, this is their 2-pound bag. It's $89 plus $17 shipping. So it is kind of expensive. Whatever that is, $106, $105. But what's making me really excited for this is about a month ago they ended their promo where it was a nugget promo, where in certain bags underneath the labels they had nuggets. And I saw Dennis Dayton had gotten one. Actually, he got a couple, I think. So and I really wanted to get a review back then, but unfortunately most of my Paydirt I have to buy through my wife and through her maiden name now, which means she has to buy it, which means I have to get her approval. So that, you know, she doesn't always want to get Paydirt when I want to get Paydirt. So I can't sneak any bags past her when I got to put them, you know, when she has to order them. So I didn't get a chance to get this one until recently, you know, which is unfortunate. It was after their nugget promo had ended, but I did get a bonus bag. So I'm super excited. I don't believe I've ever had one of their bonus bags. I can't remember getting one. I don't remember the sticker. I'll have to look through some of my old notes and reviews, and I'll put it in my blog if I've ever had one before. But I don't remember ever getting one. So I'm excited to see what the difference is. I know what they claim is going to be in here is going to be a gram. The 1-pound bag, they don't make any claims as to what's going to be in there. It's just random. The 2-pound bag is seeded with 1 gram of gold. So that's going to be your minimum on it. So, and again, as I said in the first video, I really highly consider, if you're considering buying Dirt Hog, look into combined shipping. It really makes it worth it. You know, like when I bought this and the 1-pound bag. And I still paid $17 shipping. So it essentially means the 1-pound bag shipped for free, you know, in my mind. Or, you know, I paid $8.50 in shipping on this as opposed. So it would really make my ROI higher. But again, as usual, I just keep my ROIs based on what they charge for 1 bag. Simply because if that's what you decide to do, you'll see comparable results, hopefully. Now, again, this is going to be the bonus bag, so if you don't win the bonus bag, I'm sure your results will be less than mine. But you never know. You know, my 1-pound bag, I know somebody that got the bonus bag, and in my original review, I still beat them with my ROI. You know, so it just depends. So I'm going to get right into this and open this up. Again, as I've said before, they use the coffee bags. And I can tell you right off the bat, there's a lot more chunkier stuff in this one than the last one. I mean, it's a lot bigger. Rocks. I mean, as you can see, this is, you know, I didn't have any rocks this big in the last one. But I also, this is really nice. Oh, I'll show you all that in a minute when I come back. But as you can see, there's a lot more, and you can also see it's the red, as typical from the first bag, and some really big rocks. So, I'm gonna classify these all down to see what I get, and then I'll be right back with it and show you. This video probably shouldn't be as long because I'm not going to be jumping around like a schoolgirl at the prom because, you know, it's the second bag for the day. So I'll be right back and show you what I got in the classification. Alright, back, finished classifying everything out. I had my little helper man helping me, but he just ran out of the shed. He's a little shy. So, as you can clearly see, the vast majority of this is in the over 10 and classification. A nice little bit in the under 10 over 20, under 20 over 30, and about the under 30, about the same for these two. Maybe a little bit more in the under 30. Now again, you know, last time I really didn't think I'd find anything in these bottom two pans. I thought I'd find it all in these top two. Now I was told these are typically have more finer gold, so we'll see. I really didn't see anything since there was so much. Usually, you know, you don't have that much over 10, so it's, you know, actually here's a, well, I just lost it, but there was a little bitty flake right there. Or not little, but you know, a nice flake. You know, when you have this much over 10. It's a little harder to spot them when you're, you know, classifying it down. But a lot of big rocks here. And I don't know if you'll be able to see this. Let me see if I can hold it up for you. Get my chair. As there was one rock that had, you know, I'll show you it again later after I get it down. But I don't know if you'll be able to see that. But nice gold inside of it. I'll get it once I start cleaning everything up. I'll get it wet and wash off all the grime, show you a little better. But that was really cool. That'll go in my son's collection, I'm sure, as does most of my nicer finds. So, all right, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to go pan out the over 10 and see what I get, and I'll be right back. And all the rest of this will be shortly after. All right, be right back. All right. Back, finished panning out the over 10, and as you can see, and I will hold it closer, got 6 nice sized nuggets, probably a couple flakes and nuggets, you know what everybody calls them something different. 6 nice pieces of gold out of the over 10. In total, the smallest piece was 0.1 grams and the largest piece was 0.27. Now again, I didn't fully dry them off to make sure that the weights were accurate, and I did use an old scale. So take that with a grain of salt. I'll put it on my blog, you know, what the final weights are. When I weighed it out, they all came out to a little bit over a gram. So the gram that was guaranteed, I've found. And also a really cool specimen of some quartz with some gold in it. And that's really cool. And like I said, I have no idea what I would do with it. I don't really have a rock crusher, so I wouldn't crush it to get the gold out. So my son's already made dibs on it because he came in here and my helper is now gone. He stole all the cool looking rocks out of the over 10 and he is gone. He went back into the house. So now I'm going to go pan out the under 10 over 20. And again, I didn't show it earlier, but as in the previous bag, there really is nothing that is magnetized in this Paydirt. So you don't need a magnet for this stuff, definitely. I actually have a new magnet coming in because that one drives me crazy with its little squeaky. I'm excited. I'm going to go pan this out and see what kind of gold I recover from this. And I will be right back with the next part and see you. All right. Finished panning out the under 10 over 20 and a nice bit of gold. As you can see, it's about 40 pieces. So really happy with that. Extremely happy with that, as a matter of fact. Considering that I already got my gram out of what I was guaranteed. So I'm really happy. Now I'm going to, as usual, go to the next chapter, which is going to be under 20 over 30. Now I will say, so far I have not seen a lot of fine gold. There was maybe one piece in this. In the over 10, I saw one little tiny piece of flower gold, and it did escape me. So that'll have to be, I'll repan it later to recover that. Hopefully, you know, it's a lot of Paydirt to get that one little piece of flower gold. And in this one, I didn't see anything really. And I'm sure when I go through here with my magnifying glass, I'll probably see maybe one little piece. But yeah, I can kind of see one, maybe one or two, but not very much. Not as much as which was in the 1 pound, which, you know, isn't surprising, you know, since flour gold, you never know what you're going to get it in. So, all right, well, I'm going to be right back and again, to pan this out, and I'll show you just again. Really nothing to be magnetized. I mean, it's just not even worth the time to pull your magnet out. So, I'll be right back and be back in a second and show you what I got out of this one. All right, thanks. All right, finished panning out the over 30, under 20, and as you can see, again, bag just keeps on giving the gold. Probably about 50 to 60 small little pieces. Again, really happy. It's fairly difficult. This stuff really is hard to get the gold out of. The larger stuff, of course, you know, it's fairly easy. It's one of those love-hates, I guess, bags, you know. The over 10 and the under 10 over 20 were fairly easy to get all the gold out of, and it was a nice amount of gold. And then you get to this stuff that you really don't expect. Once you see all that gold, you really don't expect to find much in these parts. And it really makes you work for it. I mean, it really, really is challenging, and which is fun, you know. And like I said, in the 1 pound bag, I got enough gold out of the plus 10 and the plus 20, where if I wouldn't have found anything else, I think my Roy still would have been pretty decent in what I consider to be worthwhile of buying again. And then everything else was just lanyap, or, you know, if you're not from Louisiana, a bonus. So, you know, this again is, I know I got my gram out of just the over 10, and then I got a nice little bit out of the plus 20. So adding to this, you know, it's a good bag, and depending on what I find in this under 30, you know, I'm expecting again a nice Roy where it would be buying, I'd want to buy it again. So, and then it's fun where you get some good stuff. You know, if you're not very experienced, you could just get the chunky stuff and be really happy with the bag. And then as you get more experience, you can go back and repan it all. And, you know, because I don't throw away any of my Paydirt until it's gone through about 50 times. I have 5-gallon buckets stored all over my my gold shed. One of these days I'll take a picture and show it. And then I just save it, and as I get equipment or I want to test stuff, you know, I'll run it. I recently got in a banjo, or I've actually had it for a while as a banjo pan, and I used it to test some stuff. And I'll be doing a review on the banjo pan eventually, but sticking with Dirt Hog, I'm really happy. I'm actually ecstatic about this Paydirt, and I'm so glad I went back to it. But I'm going to take a break and come back with the under 30. Alright, back and finally finished panning out the under 30. Again, it was a huge pain. I don't know if you saw that, but it is stuff, again, floating like crazy. I mean, this probably here, I know you can see, probably this is 90% go-getter juice, or, you know, rinse, and only 10% is water, and it's still floating. I mean, it's just... This stuff was real time consuming to get all that fine gold. But, you know, it's gold. It's worth it. It was really fun. And it's pretty much ended up being just like in the 1 pound bag, you know, where, you know, which is always good. A lot of sellers nowadays tend to put all their gold into one classification, you know, and I know why. It's because beginners can't find the small gold. So if, you know, if you guarantee a gram of gold and 50% of it's nuggets and 50% is fine gold, they might only find a half a gram and complain, you know. So it's really nice to see a seller that still has so much. And again, this was a bonus bag, so I mean, I don't know what the Roy is going to be until I go weigh it up and you go to my website and look it up. But, you know, I'm ecstatic with it, and I'm going to be right back with my final thoughts and what I'm going to base all my reviews on for it. So, I'll be right back. Alright, so final review for Dirt Hog's 2-pound pay dirt. These are one of my results. It might not be typical because this was a bonus bag, but it was 6 nice little pieces and weighing between 0.1 gram all the way up to 0.27 grams. And I don't know if you can see that, but there's a lot of flour gold in this as well, just from the panning it out. Then there was the piece of quartz with the gold in it. That's really cool, but I'm not going to put this in the weight for my final Roy just because my son's going to steal it and there's no way for me to measure how much gold was in that. But, you know, it is what it is. The under 10 over 20, it was about 30 pieces of gold. And then in the under 20 over 30, it was probably in the 50 to 60 range of nice little pieces and a ton of flour gold. I mean, just lots and lots of it. Painstaking work to get that all out of there, especially since, like I showed you, almost nothing was magnetized. So it's just slow panning, lots of tapping, lots of manipulation to get what you want out of it. So, back to what I'm going to review this on. Now for the Roy, again, as always, you have to go to my website to look at it. Most of these videos just show you how much fun I have doing this pay dirt or how much I hate pay dirt. But Dirt Hog is something I was really looking forward to doing again. The fun factor, definitely a 10 again. Definitely a 10. Man, it was fun. You know, from the chunky stuff all the way down to this really fine gold, it got everything out of me. You know, I had some nice relaxing stuff, and then the stuff that really just makes you stare until you go cross-eyed. The value, again, it's going to be based off the Roy, so I don't know. My overall experience, a 10. It was amazing. It is a bonus bag, which is always great. So, you know, I don't know about the Roy, but just based on everything I had with them, it was amazing. So, pay dirt description, again, I'm probably going to give them an 8. Just because they don't really put a lot of details on their website about their pay dirt, but they do tell you they're not there to run a nice website. They're there to sell you pay dirt. So, but the customer service was so top-notch that I probably would have given them a 6. But because if you do email them or ask them anything, and they were so quick to respond to my wife. They didn't respond to me, so they didn't know it was me and it was somebody who was going to be reviewing. It was my wife and her maiden name. So, you know, awesome. The pay dirt quality is going to be about the same as of an 8. You know, those might adjust once I get and actually put them on my final thoughts. I write down notes the whole time I'm doing stuff, and when I'm writing down my reviews, you know, they might be slightly changed. Pay dirt quantity was definitely a 10. It was 2 pounds and 4 ounces what it weighed out to. So it was over the 2 pounds, which was what they sold me. The pay dirt packaging, sadly, is going to be an 8 because it was a coffee bag, and everyone knows I'm never going to give a coffee bag a 10. So it was an 8. Customer service, again, 10. Definitely a 10. If I could give them a 12 or bonus points, I would, just how speedily and how well Mr. B over at Dirt Hog answered my questions. Shipping, again, I'm going to give them a 10. I know the shipping's high, it's $17, but they're not gouging you. You know, so it's kind of like, you know, if you want something from somewhere, you got to pay for it. You know, I know on my thing, I love free shipping, but they are fast. They do ship quickly. They ship a couple times a week, so you're not going to be waiting a week for it. So overall, that was it. And I also, you know, it was kind of sad the fact that it took me so long to re-review this that I remember just how much I love this. These were, I believe, my 9th and 10th bags I've panned from Dirt Hog. And sadly, these are my first 2 reviews on video reviews for them, and I've only done 2 other written reviews, so 6 other bags just, you know, I didn't do. Like, again, I said, these and Prospector Johns were the first bags I started with. So I'm so glad, you know, but it's also that I got back to them, but I'm also sad that it took me so long to do it. And I'm also sad it's probably going to take me another year or 2 before I get back to them again. But there's so many pay dirt sellers out there that I want to get to them all at one point or another. So I'm going to be done for today, and I hope you enjoyed the review. And also, I hope you enjoyed the new look. The video quality is a little bit better. I went out and bought a new camera. and it was just junk. It was worse. The battery wouldn't stay lit. The part where you screw it into my mount above was plastic, so it stripped really quick. So I gave up on that, and I decided just to take out all my lighting that I had in here, which was all halogen in my gold shed, and I replaced it all with LED lighting. And I'm still waiting on another light to help improve with the spots. But I'm changing everything out to LED in here, so it's much, better for my camera. So, and that's that. And go to my website, enjoy. And I'll see you again in about a week. It might be sooner than a week, but definitely by next week, I have another 2 reviews. It's going to be another double review day because I have another seller that I got 2 bags from that I've been dying to try. And so I can't wait to see you then. All right.